Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this lesson, I'm going to actually discuss with you a few programming examples of interfacing LEDs with the Arduino. So my aim is to really inculcate making programs with you. So all the programming examples that are discussed in this video will be having a proper explanation, and we'll go step by step as to how we're actually writing the code, what each line in the code means. One more thing that as I give you a programming example, feel free to actually pause the lesson, take a minute, think about it, and try it yourself. That is something that I would be very happy if you do that, because the more you try to tinker with this, the better you'll get at this practice. So let's start. So we have a circuit over here. Now what I want to do is in the code section. So our first programming example is we need to blink the external LED exactly 10 times while giving a delay of 1 second. So this is somewhat similar to our first program where we were just blinking the LED, but over there we were blinking it infinite times till the Arduino lost power, or maybe the reset button was pressed. So this time we have a constraint, that is, we have to blink the LED for exactly 10 times. So how are we going to do this? We're going to do this with the help of a for loop. So let me just break down the question to you in simple terms. What do we want to do? We want to blink the LED, what we were putting in the loop before. We want to turn the LED on, wait for 1 second, turn the LED off, wait for another second. And we want to do this loop for exactly 10 times. So what I mean by the for loop is that as we go on, we will count how many times this loop has run. Once it hits 10, we're going to stop. So let me just create another variable, an integer variable. Let's say it's int a. Do not forget to add a semicolon, otherwise the code will not work. So now what are we going to do in the void loop section? We're going to, of course, have the whole loop working, which is turning the LED on, waiting for 1 second, turning the LED off, and waiting for 1 more second. So we want this loop to happen 10 times. So what we're going to do is that we're going to give a the value of 0, and every time this loop happens, we're going to increment its value. That means we're going to add to its value. So okay, so once this loop happens, 0 will become 1, 1 will become 2, it'll go on. So as soon as it becomes 9, that means it has completed 10 cycles, because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 cycles. So what we're going to use over here is a for loop. So what is the syntax for that? So first I'll add these curly brackets, which is the basic syntax. So now we will say for a is equal to 0, that is the starting point of a, semicolon, till a is less than 10. What we mean by that, as soon as a touches 9, we terminate this program. So for as soon as a is 0 till a is 10, we keep incrementing the value of a. So a plus plus. And now we want to create another curly bracket, and inside this we want to actually write digital write, which is our main function, right? Digital write LED high, semicolon. Then we want to give it a delay of 1000 milliseconds, sorry. Then we're going to write digital write again, make the state of the LED low. Then we're going to give it another delay. Then we're going to close this for loop and then close the void loop. With this done, our code should be working. So let's start with our next programming example. So what are we doing here? Our programming example says that there is an LED connected to pin number 8 on the Arduino Uno, and we want to turn it on for exactly 3 seconds and then turn it off for half a second. So the way we'll be tackling this problem is we'll be creating two variables, int a and int b. So our variable first will be equal to 3000, which means the amount of milliseconds we are turning the LED on, and then we have int b, which will be 500 milliseconds, which is the amount of time the LED will be off. So in our void loop, we will have a similar approach as to the blink LED program, and we will write digital write 8 is high, which means we are turning the LED on, and we are staying at that by giving a delay of A milliseconds. And we have already configured A to be 3000, so we will stay at that position for 3 seconds. Then we will turn the LED off. Then we'll give a delay of B milliseconds. So according to the code, the LED will stay on for A milliseconds, which is 3000, and then it will turn off for B milliseconds, which is 500. So let's actually simulate this. So as you can see, the LED is on for 3 seconds and it turns off for half a second. With this, we come to the end of our programming examples. In the next lesson, we will be interfacing a push button with the Arduino Uno.